Hi, my name is Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about something very personal, well, a lot more personal than sex toys. So the title of today's video is Single and Childless. Am I missing out? Well, of course I don't think I'm missing out. In fact, I love being single and childless. In fact, I would say child-free rather than childless. But also I would say never say never. So I'm not exactly against getting married or against motherhood or parenthood, but it's definitely not something that's been on my wish list ever. And I find that incredibly liberating. And for that reason I want to share my views with you today, because I think this can be very empowering for lots of women. First of all, let's talk about being single. So I've lived the era of all my friends getting married. They're all starting to get divorced now. So that makes single life a lot easier. And I've been to my friends' weddings and I've had a great time, and I didn't feel any jealousy whatsoever. I was absolutely, genuinely really happy for them and their romantic day, and I enjoyed their romantic day with them. But being single, I think I'm in general disillusioned with long-term commitments. It doesn't mean that I'm anti-relationships. I'm actually a real romantic, and I don't like, for me, relationships, love is not about relationships. It's about making beautiful memories with someone, and that could be someone you meet in a night, it could be someone you're seeing for a year or two, it doesn't really matter. So for me, I'm really more focused in the here and now and giving 100% to any encounter or any romantic or sexual encounter that I have with someone. And I also think that no matter, even if you have the most liberal partner in the world, there are still some restrictions on in a relationship. You can't just do what you like. And if you did what you like, then you'd be selfish. And for me, I don't know if I'm selfish, but I just prefer to not have anyone to answer to. I like waking up alone. I like not having to tell someone where I am and what I'm doing and when I'm back. And I know that some relationships can be very free and all of that, but I personally prefer to be 100% free and not promise anything. That's what I like. I don't like to promise anything, because I think that's when all the expectations and all the bad part of a relationship comes into play. I just like to enjoy a moment with someone and give 100% to that moment. But I realise that my way of seeing things is not very common, perhaps. But anyway, let's carry on. I would prefer to have a relationship with someone where I'm living in my house, they're in their house, and our lives or money just does not intertwine like a long-term relationship does, or like a marriage does. I don't know, I just I prefer it that way. In fact, I think I'm a passion addict. I love the sensation of butterflies and excitement to see someone at the beginning of a new relationship. And if you're with someone for a long time, you live different things. But for me, I don't know, I'm a passion addict. I don't think it's easy to sustain passion in a long-term relationship. Well, of course I don't know, I really don't know. That's why I like to say that never say never, because maybe in the future I will have a long-term relationship, who knows. I want to break down my own personal obstacles and then just see what happens. I don't have a life plan. I think sometimes people or women or people after a certain age, maybe when they get to their 30s, they're thinking, oh, now it's time to look for Mr. Right, and then every date is like a sentimental job interview. And my date's not like that. That's why I want to share my story, because I think when I have a date with someone, I'm thinking, wow, who are you? What can you teach me? And maybe we'll be friends, but I'm not thinking, are you going to be the father of my children? Do you earn enough money? Are you going to be a good provider? I don't think like that at all, and I think it's very liberating to just see a date as a date and nothing more. For me personally, I think thinking about forever or Mr. Right and all that is just not true. It's something that maybe we were brought up to believe. I always actually imagined that I would end up having a conventional life, meeting a guy and having some kids, probably getting married as well. I guess, I'm not really sure how it happened, but I guess my last relationship, or serious relationship, ended 9 years ago. But that doesn't mean that I've not had emotional or romantic or profound encounters in the last 9 years. I've had many, and they've been wonderful. So for me, I prefer to have all those experiences that I've had than be with the same person for 9 years. That just goes with my personality. Everyone is different basically. Everyone is different, of course, but this is just my way of doing things. When I watch Bridget Jones, for example, I think it's hilarious, but my life could not be any more different. I'm not at home drinking wine, listening to All By Myself. Oh, it's just such a sad image of the single woman. I'm really happy to be alone at home, actually. In fact, when I spend a night with someone, I'm just like, oh, actually, can you just leave now? I'm actually so glad to be single. But at the same time, I don't want to come across as, I don't really care how I come across. I'm not one of these people who is anti-marriage or anti-children or whatever. I just think it's not for me now. I really believe that to evolve in life 100%, you have to be open and flexible. So that's why I think it's important to say never. Another interesting point is the kind of guys I like now are nothing like the ones I liked 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So I think that's very difficult as well in a long-term relationship, is to constantly be going in the same direction as your partner. For me, I just can't be bothered. I just want to be 100% free and flexible to grow in whatever direction I'm supposed to grow in, and then we'll see what happens. But let's talk about kids. That's another interesting thing. I've seen all my friends have children, and I'm really happy for them, and pregnancy fascinates me. I've always been interested in pregnancy and birth. In fact, when I was doing art at school, I did a project on embryos, and I did a massive painting of an embryo, a 20-week embryo or something, with a collage placenta, and it was amazing. I'm just really fascinated by the creation of life, and I'm sure that must be an amazing sensation to make love to your partner, trying to create a new human life. I know from my friends telling me it gets quite mechanical or disappointments and stuff, but I still think it's an incredibly beautiful thing. I think I kind of lost my maternal instinct when I was 19, and I worked as an au pair one summer in Paris, and I saw the reality of caring for children, and it was a real eye-opener. I was absolutely shattered. Before that experience, whenever I saw someone pushing a newborn baby, I would always stop and go, oh my god, it's so cute. But ever since then, I don't even look now. The thought of going through childbirth doesn't appeal to me either. Or sleepless nights, and all that worrying, because I'm a natural worrier anyway, just looking after myself, being a single and childless woman. And I think if I had to worry about a husband and children, I don't think it'd be very good for my health, and I don't think I could have an orgasmic lifestyle personally, not with my personality. I know some people can do it and that's great, but for me, I don't think so. Some people think having children is a guarantee that you'll have someone to look after you in your old age, and I think that's so wrong. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen in my old age. And even one of my uncles said to me, what are you going to do when you're 50? Who are you going to talk to? In reference to my single status. And I thought, well, there's no guarantee about anything. Even if you're married, you could be divorced by 50, or your partner could pass away in the worst case scenario. So I think I'm really in the here and now, and also I'm quite a spiritual person. So I don't think there's any point looking past here and now, really. Obviously you have to make some plans and, you know, I don't know, give some thought to the future, but I don't think you should live today for the future. I think you should give 100% to today. I don't think about legacy either, because I already have a legacy. Well, I have a non-biological legacy, but what makes it really easy for me to be single and childless and happy with that situation is the fact that I live in Barcelona. I think Barcelona is just amazing, and I live by the beach, and I'm part of an expat community, and in my international community there are not many people who have children or who are married, so I'm in an ambiance which attracts single and childless people. So I don't feel like I'm the odd one out at all. Last summer I went back to the UK, to the land of semi-detached, and yes, I think if I lived in England I would feel like a proper spinster. I think the pressure to have something to show for your life is a lot more in England, and I don't have anything to show for my life. I have no possessions. I've got all these sex toys, some clothes, and I've got 9 boxes of Spanish press, of 1 per year, and that's about it. That's all I have in life. I have nothing. I have some clothes which will probably be thrown away by the time I get older, and that's it, and my computer. So I have nothing to show, but I'm living an orgasmic lifestyle in Barcelona, and I'm so happy to be single and child-free and enjoying it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my story, and see you in the next video.